Hey y'all, thanks for coming back for more Whole Wellness with Anne. I have something I wanted to share with you today. Um, I years ago, back in 2009 at a job, um, I suffered what I don't even know what to call it, like a spasm in my neck, um, where it just started hurting really suddenly at work one day. I was in a really stressful job. When I lived in Florida, I worked for a resort management company and I was on this special assignment on Siesta Key in Florida. And what happened was I was working one day and it was probably August of that summer of that year. So I had been out at the resort for a while and things had been an extremely stressful period of time. Um, the employees didn't know if they were going to be paid. I was trying to set up new vendors, trying to get the cable hooked up for the rooms, you name it. A lot of tension, a lot of unknowns, just had no idea and no real guidance or leadership out at the property, at the resort, at that time. So I was at work one day and I was stewing over credit card statements for the business, trying to reconcile some accounts and trying to figure out who had paid and who hadn't paid and who overpaid and who had done a deposit. And it was just an absolute disaster. And I was bent over the books and I felt a twinge in my neck and my neck just seized up. And I was in excruciating pain. It wouldn't go away. I took pain meds. I tried ointments. I went to physical therapy. This persisted for, I left that job involuntarily in December of 2009, and this persisted for 9 years. And my life changed drastically in that time. And the pain in my neck and the tension in my neck came and went. And then I landed at that job in 2014 that I told you about. From 2014 to 2019, one of the things my most excellent boss, with all his faults and everything, one thing that he did do for us is every other Thursday, he hired a masseuse to come into the office and give chair massages to the office staff. And it was like a 15-20 minute session that we could have. And I am not a massage person. I just don't go to massages. I don't get them. I've never seen the point. So I never went to her. And then one day I was at work. I mean, this was a couple years into my job in 2016, 2017, maybe. And one day I finally threw caution to the wind and said, I'm going to go to this massage therapist and have a chair massage for 20 minutes. Well, she worked on me for 45 minutes and she could not believe how tense my neck and my shoulders were. And at that time, I thought that I had everything under control and was dealing with all the stuff in that job, with the narcissists and the toxic workplace and the stress and all that stuff. But afterwards, I felt unbelievable. And I think it was 2017 when I went and saw a neurologist, because along with the issues in my neck and it seizing up and having physical therapy and electrodes put on my neck to shake the muscles and seeing a neurologist and everything, I was also having episodes of vertigo. I couldn't sleep in a bed anymore. I spent probably a year and a half sleeping in a recliner so that I would not be rolling over. I had to just tilt myself back. And even then, when I tilted myself back, when I got my head at like this angle, I started to have vertigo, severe vertigo episodes. When I rolled over, if I turned my head really quick, you name it. I mean, the vertigo incidents would not come if I was standing or sitting with my head straight ahead. But if I turned or tilted or twisted or did this, an episode of vertigo would come upon me. And it was awful because it made me nauseous then. And it was very random. So I was dealing with all this stuff. I didn't know, I was dealing with other stuff too, but I didn't know to what extent they were related or unrelated for, a good 8-9 years in my life. Meanwhile, my family, we moved across the country. We were dealing with job changes. I was dealing with the stress of relationships and work and you name it. But then I had that session, that 45-minute session with a massage therapist, a chair massage on my neck and shoulders, and she could not believe how tense I was. She told me to drink 2 quarts of water after our session because of the toxins that were released during the massage and so on and so forth. And I was like, wow. Well, after that massage, I felt so relaxed and so good. And I did drink the water that she told me to drink. And I felt so limber and so relaxed and so good. I just could not believe it. And I could turn my head any which way and move, and I didn't have any vertigo. I didn't have any achiness. I didn't have any twinges. I didn't have any issues whatsoever. So I got to thinking, I wonder if all these struggles I've been dealing with in my neck have to do with tension and stress. Do I carry stress in my neck and shoulders? So I kept going back to her every 2 weeks for the next year or so, while she was still hired to do this at that job, until I think it was maybe 9 months to a year later when they finally did away with that program. But I was super grateful in the time that I did go. I could not believe the improvement it made on me. I mean, I had gone to physical therapy for the vertigo, did the twist, roll. I mean, it was awful, awful, awful. And then it dawned on me sometime after the massages stopped, that there was something to what she said and her massages. There was something good that was coming from that. I just didn't know exactly what. And I considered going to a massage therapist after that, but I really didn't want to spend the money. Truthfully, I just didn't want to spend the money. And honestly, I couldn't have proven to myself or anybody else that that's really what was going on, that the massage was helping, that I carried my tension and stress in my neck and in my shoulders, until one day it started to come back, not long after the massages were done. And I went, there's got to be a better way to handle this. If this is all it is, stress and anxiety being carried in my neck and shoulders, I have to figure out some way to deal with this. This is ridiculous. And I thought about getting a massage chair. When I started looking at the prices of a massage chair, I about flipped my lid. Thousands of dollars for like the shiatsu roller balls in the back of the chair. I thought about getting one of the over the back kind flaps where it has heat and you have a little remote control and the balls kind of move up and down. And I actually wound up finding one of those at a resale shop for like $40 or $30 or something like that. And I tried it out and it killed my back. It hurt so bad. I was so tender that I scrapped that idea really quickly. And I went back to square one. What kind of massage can I get or do that's going to be affordable and effective? Because I don't want the drugs. I don't want surgery. I want to take care of this vertigo and this pain that I'm dealing with in my neck and shoulders. But again, I didn't believe it was stress that was causing it. Maybe I believed it. I didn't want to accept it. I don't know. That's probably going to take more thought and an examination on my part. But I will say that eventually, it was around Christmas time of, I think it was 2018, where I was at Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond. And I was Christmas shopping, and I was looking at the massagers and stuff, and everything was like either those little hand massagers that really don't do much for yourself, as far as like they're not feasible to use on your neck and shoulders for yourself. They might be good for your feet or your legs or something when you're rubbing them on yourself, but I don't really see the purpose of those things. They're cheap, they're affordable, and they might be helpful in some circumstances, but they weren't what I needed. And I thought I was at my wit's end, and that I would have to get a massage therapist, and then I would have to pay that money. And then I found this little guy. And let me show you the whole thing. Okay? This is called a Backjoy. And I cannot believe what this thing has done for me. Okay, so that was 2018 and it's 2022 now. I own 3 of these. I'm not kidding you. And there has not been a crack or a break in any one of them. And once again, it's called a Backjoy. Let me see if I can get the image up there for you. Can you see it? It's Backjoy. So you can go to their website. I swear by this thing, okay? And the reason I do is because I was standing in the store. This thing cost me $24.95, I think. And even my husband loves to tease me to this day because I stood there debating whether I should spend the $25 on this thing or not. And I was standing in Bed Bath & Beyond, and I was kind of taking this little angled nodule, and I was kind of rubbing the back of my neck, and I was like, wow, that feels good. And then I was taking these 2 little jobbies, and I was rubbing the back of my neck, and I was like, wow. And then I was taking a couple of these other ones and this one, and I was like, wow. Taking that perfectly round one, not the angled one, but the round one, and putting it right on that muscle that goes from your neck to your shoulder, and pulling down to apply pressure to that muscle that just forces the muscle to relax. You only need, man, like 20 to 40 seconds. And there's an instruction guide that comes with this and everything. There's littler nodules. I've used this one. I've put it like this on the floor and then rubbed my foot over the bottom of it because I also have suffered plantar fasciitis too. There's just 1,000 different ways to use this thing. And this one is for the back, right behind my shoulder blade where the muscles come down from my neck and I hold my head up. When I'm at work, I'm using an adding machine a lot. And this arm is constantly back and forth between paperwork and an adding machine and typing on a computer, and I'm sitting at a desk for hours at a time. And this little jobby has saved my life. And when I say saved my life, I'm telling you, I saw a neurologist. This is after pain meds. This is after having electrodes attached to me. This is after going to physical therapy several different times. This is after having massages. I bought this little $24.95 plastic thing, which, I mean, it's plastic, but it's like Hulk strength plastic. I mean, I press hard with this thing, and it hasn't broken yet. None of them have. And like I said, I have 3 of these things, and I swear by them, okay? Because ever since I've owned one of these things, every single time I have felt pain or a twinge or vertigo or anything in my neck or shoulders or back, I go to this thing. And you know what happens? I get relief. I get relief. Sometimes, depending on what the instigator of the pain has been, whether it be extensive work or just turning too fast or, extended period of time with my head down or whatever the case may be, whatever the cause was of the problem, this might be a single-use treatment, or it might be 3 or 4 treatments of this thing, an hour to an hour and a half apart the night before and then the next day. Or it might be a single use thing. Just once, and then I feel much better. Now, let's not cloud the basic realization that I carry a lot of tension in my neck and shoulders. That is the root cause. So I literally have, I mean, when I talk about my journey to whole wellness, I'm talking about mindfulness, centeredness, and living with intent, being full of joy, being full of peace, being stress-free, having healthy relationships, you name it. And this is part of that. Like, I have to find a way to not, I have had to find a way to not carry tension or stress in my neck and shoulders. Now, as I've tried to find ideal ways to let the stress go and let the anxiousness go and let the worry go about things going on in the world and in my life, meanwhile, I have the Backjoy that helps relieve the tension, and then also the exercise and the outdoor time, which again, like I've said before, in the wintertime, it's hard because I don't like the cold. But if you are on your phone a lot with your head down, if you've been having neck problems, if you've been having vertigo problems, and you're considering surgery and all this other stuff, please try the Backjoy. This thing does not work for everybody because I've recommended to everybody, and everybody just kind of, they're clunky and they don't know how to use it. And they don't know how to press, and they're like, what the heck is the point of this thing? You have to kind of know physical therapy a little bit and muscles and how to treat them and how to press with a firm, consistent pressure in the right spot, because you could hurt yourself with this thing. I mean, if you press the wrong spot, I mean, this is hard plastic. If you press the wrong spot, you could hurt yourself. But if you're careful and you know where the point is of tension, you can relieve it. You can force the muscle to relax by using that little tool. And you will bring yourself much relief. Let me tell you, I was at the point where I did see a neurologist. I had an 1.5-hour appointment with a neurologist, and she assessed every single detail. She was very thorough, an 1.5-hour appointment. And the treatment that she wanted to give me was Botox injections in my neck. Botox injections in my neck to relax the muscles. That was her remedy. What the what? Seriously? And she said the biggest risk or danger of getting Botox injections in my neck is that I'd have to wear a neck brace to hold my head up because it might become too floppy. Stay with me. I'm dead serious. You might be laughing hysterically right now. But let me tell you, this was the remedy for my neck problems and my pain. Botox injections, and then if the Botox injections made my head too floppy, I could wear a neck brace until the neck muscles built back up. And then where would I be? Back where I was. So don't ask me how that's a remedy, but that was her remedy. And bless her heart, if she's a neurologist, she has worked mighty hard and she has studied mighty hard. And for some people, that might be the answer. Botox injections, and a neck brace. Not for me, though. Not for me. I hope that if you're dealing with anything like I was dealing with, that you find something, some sort of relief for yourself, because a vertigo is awful, awful. So hopefully you found that helpful. I love my little Backjoys. I swear by them. They give instant muscle relief. I also use that after I press down on the muscles for a while. I intermittently use that with a little roll-on of Icy Hot to relax the muscles as well. But I think Icy Hot is like 2 or 3 times a day application, so you don't want to overuse that either because you could burn your skin. But intermittently, if you have muscle soreness, rest the muscle, drink plenty of fluids or anything with electrolytes. And make sure you're feeding your body protein, and make sure you're stretching. Low and slow too. Not any of this jerky fast movements. Anyway, that's it for me for tonight. Take care of you. Until next time, thanks for joining me. Bye.